22 years old, Dart, the youngest starting quarterback ever to beat the defending Super Bowl champs. Scadaboo is the second rookie in Giant history to have 3 rushing touchdowns in a game. The first, Charlie Evans, 1971. I think Rex diagrammed defenses to try and stop him. So a fascinating night in so many different ways. And it was a great night for the Giants. But what was the number one takeaway you had, Teddy?
Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles. You got great players, but great players can even take the night off. And that's what they did against the New York Giants. Basically, I know what it looks like when you get punked, okay? And the Eagles got punked. They got punked by the New York Giants, and it was led by 2 rookies, which was the most amazing thing to me, to see these young kids against the world champions and these great players on defense saying, we don't care who you are. Jaxson Dart on 3rd down is diving head first for the pylon on Jihad Campbell. Reed Blankenship doesn't want it at the goal line. Scadaboo says, here, take this ball too while you're with you. You don't want this. You don't want this, do you? We're high-fiving officials. Fellas, we're high-fiving officials, led by 2 rookies against one of the best teams in the league. They said, no, that's it. That's it. I know what it's like to get punked. And that was a punking last night. That was a punking on Thursday night by the Giants to the world champion Philadelphia.
Yeah, you know what I saw? I mean, I hate to say that, you know, what a surprise, right again, but I'm right again. This move energized the entire organization and fan base, by the way. Why? Because these 2 can ball. They compete their tails off. That's what it's all about. And what happened? It energized your entire football team. That's what I saw. I saw a team that right now is like, hey, we don't care who the hell we play. We got these guys. They're competitive. And you know what? They can handle it. I call for that Scadaboo forever.
Yes.
Why? Because he runs so dang hard, and then the quarterback thinks he's the next thing of Josh Allen. Like, this is the great move by Brian Daboll. I have no idea why the hell it didn't happen week 1, where it should have, and maybe this team's record be different. But right now, it's happened, and this fan base, this is the first time I've seen a New York Giant fan base this excited for 20 years.
When's the last time the Giants were this excited? Super Bowl win? Like, these 2 guys have brought that energy, that juice, that stat. The youngest quarterback ever to beat a Super Bowl champion. How about the fact that there's only 2 or 3 quarterbacks who have run for 50 yards in their first 3 starts against the Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Jaxson Dart. And just like last year, Washington had a rookie quarterback come on the scene and change the fortunes of the franchise. I know it's early, but the Giants look like they have a quarterback and a running back who can do the same, which changes the tone and the look of that division this season.
Well, can we just say, let's address the elephant in the room. Alex Smith, we know why you're not here. You don't want this heat, Alex Smith. I told you, Alex. This is what happens. You mentioned the kid from Washington. You know, Jane Daniels last year, what he did, elevated that thing. Yeah, look, I've been part of 2 dang rookies that went to championship games. So stop it.
And even a little bit more. I mean, watching Jaxson on 3rd down make some throws, not just do the tough guy stuff, because the tough guy stuff is great.
Ain't gonna last.
If Alex were here, he'd be talking about some of the throws Jaxson Dart made from the pocket, which were very impressive.
So look, the Giants side of it is phenomenal. And to the point that Shefty and everyone is making, this is the most enthusiastic you've seen their fan base and their franchise in what feels like a very long time. On the other side, I host a daily show here, right? I host Get Up every morning. So we're talking about the Eagles. And while they were still unbeaten, you could see the problems. But while they were still unbeaten, I felt silly asking what's wrong with them because they kept winning. Well, all of a sudden, now they've dropped 2 games in a row. And this one was really a beatdown against the Giants. So if I were to say, do we have real trouble for the Philadelphia Eagles right now? Like real concerns about the defending Super Bowl champs? What's the answer?
Yes, there's real concern. For me, defending Super Bowl champs, and you're sitting out here making just like very small mistakes that you expect guys making this amount of money to not make. And I got 2 plays for you. And, you know, everybody's sitting up here talking about Jalen Hurts and his inability to not make this play. You guys see that red line right there? That's the red line on all practice fields in the National Football League. And that is the line for the go balls for us as a wide receiver to stay on. Right here, you see Devontae Smith on the numbers, getting jammed inside the numbers. So where does Jalen Hurts want to throw the ball? Right to the red line. So, ladies and gentlemen, is that Jalen Hurts or a wide receiver problem? Here, again, we're about to go upfield. Double move, A.J. Brown. Then you do another move at the safety. The ball has already been ready to be ready to throw down the field. So you're second guessing the quarterback. So you have Devontae Smith. One of them plays was 2 weeks ago, and the other play was last week.
Right.
Big plays in the game to prevail the Philadelphia Eagles to a victory. One thing about it, Brew, I want to go back. You talked about the physicality of the game.
Yeah.
There's a play you left out, and I hope we can find it. There's a play in the second half where Scatterboo was running. Braun was running to the sideline, and when I tell you that Scatterboo, right here where Dart left Braun right here, that's first team All-Pro, Teddy. The guy that you were sitting there hollering about, first team All-Pro. I want you to look at this sideline hit by Scatterboo. Look where he takes Zach Braun. Lifted him off his feet, out of bounds. You're talking about the physicality of the football game. There was a reason why Daboll had to apologize. If I was the head coach, the way the game was going, this man was out here fighting for his job. So, to me, looking at the game, I'm excited for the New York Giants, but if you understand what Daboll is fighting for, his job is on the line. So them going in that blue tent wanting to see what's wrong with his quarterback, I know why he did it, but everything, the signs pointing up for the New York Giants. I like what I see, and the rookies are leading the way.
Listen, the only thing I want to say about Philadelphia right here, there is like hangover effect, Super Bowl effect is real. That's why it's so hard to repeat. But there's thing, you can't just go out and lay your jock out there thinking you're the mighty Eagles. Guess what? Nobody gives a rat's.
No, they don't.
Brand new year. And the thing that I see is, you talk about those things. Attention to detail is missing.
The little things.
In this. And I see sometimes the confidence. Is it the confidence in play calling? What it is. I see Jalen Hurts not quite as confident as he normally is because I just think he should sit in that pocket a little more. Is he not quite as confident in his protection? What it is. But that red line throw, you got to get back out there.
You know that, Rex.
I mean, that ball was like, he still threw it good. He should hit that 95% of the time. He really should. You're not going to get more open than that.
Right.
The point is that when we were all sitting here a week ago today, they were still 4-0. They've lost twice since we had that conversation, and that brings up all the questions. All right, Adam Schefter, all around the league with other top stories, including back to those Bengals.
And before we get back to those Bengals, I do want to point out, yes, Brian Daboll fighting for his job, Randy, but the NFL and the NFLPA are reviewing that, and it will not be a surprise if it results in some form of discipline. As for Jamar Chase, he is expected to play today, despite being questionable with an illness in Green Bay. Got sick Thursday night. Went home Friday from practice, but the Bengals are not concerned. Chase will be out there, and they need him to be at his best to have any chance to beat the Green Bay Packers today. Flacco's going to look for Jamar Chase despite him being sick, but he will be out there despite that questionable status. As for Lamar Jackson, already been ruled out today in Baltimore. Cooper Rush will start in his place. And the key thing for the Ravens here is they have a bye next week. And the thinking would be that Lamar ideally would be ready after the bye to step back into the lineup to help the Ravens lead some sort of second half surge. But today against the Rams, it will be Cooper Rush leading the way. And of course, later on in a marquee afternoon game, both the 49ers and Buccaneers missing a slew of key players. Juwan Jennings questionable. He's going to play today, but no Purdy, no Pearsall, no Kittle, no Evans, no Godwin, no Bucky Irving. Purdy and Pearsall both have a chance, and Kittle all have a chance to be back next week for the 49ers when they play the Falcons.
That one, so many injuries in that game makes it very difficult to handicap. We will take a look at it as we continue. Meantime, Rex, you called